Today is the big day. We put 3 cores, lemon cores, lime cores. 2 came up really nicely, and as soon as the young sprouts have at least 2 leaves, it's time to relocate them. I am using these boxes to grow my seeds. They are rather spacious. So as you can see here, this is what the little plants look like from the crib to the kindergarten, so to speak. I'm going to use these pots. They are made from organic material, and once the plants are a bit bigger, I can put them in a new pot together with this, because relocating a plant is always stressful for the roots. This saves me one relocation step. Furthermore, with most plants, I would use a special potting soil. With lemon plants, it's better to use a fine-grained Mediterranean soil, which I already prepared. But before we go to work, let's take a quick look at our young plants. With such young and tender plants, we obviously need to be very careful. So that's why we're going to use plastic tools instead of metal ones. So before I start with the first plant, I'm going to put a little bit of soil into our pot. I already loosened the soil, removed all the bigger parts. We don't want to fill it. And unlike in the bigger pots, we need no drainage here. So a bit more. Here we go. Aurantia, that's the Latin name, tend to root rather deeply. So you want to take a pot that's a bit bigger. Make sure to leave enough space. So going to cut planting soil here around the plant very, very carefully, at least 2 to 3 centimeters deep, in kind of a V shape. I mean, isn't it cute? This little plastic teeth here, almost like a children's toy, but in this case, very helpful. And here we got our baby. I'm gonna take her like so, transfer her very carefully to our new pot. We wanna put our plant upright, of course, like so. We are rolling a bit asymmetrical here. So I'm gonna need put some soil here on this side. See, looking good. Don't press too hard. The plant is still very, very tender. Move a little bit in this direction. Now we're going to carefully fill our planting pot. Not going to fill it completely. Here, one more serving of Mediterranean soil. And I think we're good. Let's put that aside for a second. Next, I am going to do exactly the same with the other plant. Here at Sumetendorf headquarters, we like surprises. So we intentionally mixed different cores. I have no idea whether I am planting a lime or a lemon here. But even if I did, it's always a bit of a lottery. When you use a clone, you get exactly the same plant. When you use a core, sometimes you get bitter oranges. It's not mutation, it's the way these plants are grown. So a little bit more. The critical step is the transfer of the plant. Everything else here is really, really easy peasy. Again, I'm going to cut around the plant very gently, a rather largish diameter. Largish, can one say that? I'm not a native speaker, so please do forgive me. Oh, we got that one nicely. I think I'm not going to use my fingers. Let's keep it together. Put it here. Like so. Ooh, that one is really nicely centered. Some more soil. Gonna compress it a little bit. Very, very gently. Because damage done to the baby plant in this stage, very hard to correct later on. I don't think we did any damage. So here we now have our two new lemon plants. No need to throw away our planting box. I just put the excess soil in here and now put it back for the next batch of cores we are going to grow. Here I built this box. That is a bit more spacious, so I can leave the plants here until they're about 15 centimeters high. So I'm going to take our two fresh ones and put them in here. Of course, it's very easy to grow plants from cores if you manage to keep the soil moist. This is like a micro watering can, because too much water could also damage the plants. So let's water our new baby lemons or limes or bitter oranges. Only time will tell. Grown-up plants can take a lot of sunlight. Direct sunlight is not great for baby lemon plants. That's why I'm using this contraption here, featuring a full sun spectra LED. It's great for growing young plants because I don't have that many spaces with enough indirect sunlight. So from here on, it's keeping the soil, keeping the little pots moist every day. Also make sure there's always enough fresh air. I mean, that's not airtight. I made a couple of venting holes, but I'm still going to water them every day, check the state of the soil. And as soon as they are about 12-15 centimeters high, they will be relocated once again to a bigger pot.